Hi everyone and welcome. It's Christine here and I am here to share another junk journal that I have made. This is a design team project for Mrs. Cog's Crafts. You can find her courses and her digital images, which I have used throughout this book, at the links that I will provide for you below. This is a hardbound journal that is made completely from scratch. It has a hidden hinge inside, which when we open it, we can talk more about. And I have sewn each signature into that hidden hinge using the 5-stitch pamphlet stitch. And I learned how to do all of that through Mrs. Cog's keepsake journal keepsake journal course. It's an online course that you can take at your leisure. Once you buy it, it's yours forever, so you can take your time with it. And it is through her that I know how to do everything that I have done in this journal. So I cannot recommend the video course enough. She also provides written instructions, measurements in both metric as well as inches. She provides just everything step by step by step, so detailed on how to put these journals together, and it is so worth it at the end because the end product is very beautiful. Now before we get into the inside of the journal, I do want to show you the outside. So I'm going to bring this up. This is the cover, and of course this is one of the many digis that I have used throughout the journal from Mrs. Cog's shop. I used 4 different digi sets from her shop, and I will link all of them below. But they are Alice in color, Alice designed or illustrated rather by Arthur Rackham, and then 2 separate book plate sets. So those are the 4 sets that I used. Again, they will all be linked below, as well as a link to the course on how to make these beautiful keepsake journals. There will also be a code in the description box below that is unique to my channel, and it will give you 30% off that amazing keepsake journal course from now until the rest of the year. So make sure that you hit that show more button below in the description box of this video so you can get that code and get that course. Trust me, it is absolutely worth every penny. It's a magnificent course. Okay, so here's the cover that I did. You can see I've just used a beautiful upholstery fabric here that's got some nice teals and some browns in it. Again, this image is sewed onto this burlap as well as some canvas. I've sewn 3 buttons on, and then I just have some appliques here at the bottom right corner and top left corner. I have used a bulb pin and added just a little blue bottle here, and there are some seed beads in there. It's very difficult to see, but there are some kind of silvery seed beads in there, so they would show through the blue glass of the bottle. And I thought it went great with the picture I chose for the cover, which of course is the Drink Me bottle that she drinks to grow smaller and taller and all of that. There's also this fun little Wonderland plaque here that I have attached to this strip of canvas here, and I've attached it with 2 beautiful light blue jeweled brads, which is kind of hard to see, but there it is. I have added this beautiful tea-dyed lace all around the entirety of the journal, so it goes all along the back as well. The back is very plain. I keep all the backs of my journals very plain so they can lay flat and so that you can actually journal in them, which is the whole point, right? Here is a tassel that I have attached with a bulldog clip to the spine of the journal, and since I've been moving it around, it's gotten just a little bit messed up, so let me get it back so it looks nice and pretty for you guys so you can see. I have used various pieces of sari silk, lace, some regular ribbon, and I've also used some hemp, and you can see the beautiful beaded work here at the bottom. No, you can't because I'm out of frame. Okay, now you can. So here's, each side is the same, and it's just some beautiful beads, and this is sort of the most beautiful of them all, I think, and this is a very large bead. And then I just did a little bit of beadwork on both sides there, as you can see. So that is the spine And I also added a little heart charm here, and it does open up, so you could even put a little hidden message inside there if you wanted to. But it's just a beautiful heart charm. Of course, we have the Queen of Hearts throughout the Alice stories, so I thought the heart charm was the red heart charm was a nice touch. Okay, so that is the spine. I'm gonna go ahead and remove, the tassel is removable. So again, your journal can lay flat and you can keep the tassel, on your journal when you're done journaling, or you could even just, hang it somewhere else and look at it. It's just very beautiful ribbons and silks and lace and beads. So you can really do whatever you want with it. It's your choice. By the way, I should have mentioned at the beginning of this video, this album will be for sale at my Etsy shop, and I will have a link to that below in the description box of this video. Okay, before we get inside, I do want to pick it up one more time and bring it close to the camera so you can see the beadwork. If you've seen any of my videos on any of the junk journals that I have made, you know I have an unhealthy bead obsession. So what I do is I tend to print more images than I need, and I will sew some images in moderation into the journal itself onto the pages, and then the rest of the images I will clip using either owl clips or paper clips. I think I used all paper clips in this particular journal, and that way the recipient of the journal can remove them if it's just too much, use the clips for other things, or keep them. And all of the clips are decked out with these beautiful beadwork that you see here. A lot of thought and time. That's what takes the longest to do, frankly, when I make my journals, is all of that beadwork. And I love doing it because I really feel that the results are absolutely gorgeous. So here's just a look at the top at all the different, there's also muslin along the top, but then you can see all of these beautiful beads. There's flowers, there's, here's a red rose, here's a mushroom when she meets the caterpillar. So that's obviously paper clipping an image from that scene of the book. So just some beautiful beadwork here. I used a sari silk, a deep, deep reddish brown, which I thought went beautifully with the fabric. And I used this as my closure. So let me just go ahead and untie this. Now, sari silk comes in batches from India, and the batches actually, I have a couple that I just ordered that I haven't unspun yet. They come in these sort of rolls, so you have to kind of like undo the roll, and so then they're kind of laying like this. And then what I like to do is I just hang them up in my craft closet at the top. They're tied together by a string, so I just hang them over a coat hanger, and then when I'm ready, I just cut pieces off, I iron them, and then you have these beautiful sari silks as we saw on the tassel, as well as what you see here on the closure. So sari silk, though, one thing to just be knowledgeable about with sari silk is it will shed for a while. Usually within about a week or so, it's done shedding. Of course, when I put these in the mail, I try to pull off as much as I can and make it as perfect as I can. But that's just the nature of the sari silk. But after it's been used for about a week, those little pieces will stop kind of coming off. But you can see here that I'm pulling some little just strays off. That is completely normal and nothing to worry about. And like I said, see, here's a little string that came off there. That is normal and will stop eventually. Okay, so here I wanted to show you the beadwork on the side. You can see there's lots of fabric as well as lace tabs along the sides of the journal. And then there's also some really pretty little charms that I have. Here's a pretty little light blue heart charm, and I have a similar red one here on just some owl clips that are attached to the fabrics. Let's see here, which special ones did I want to point out? I'll have lots of pictures, by the way, on the Etsy link, so if there's anything you want to see closer up, definitely click that link and I'll have tons of pictures. Here's a little Alice charm. I thought this was cute, so I just stuck it to a coilless safety pin here and did some beadwork. Here's a charm of the White Rabbit holding a pocket watch. Here is a flamingo charm that I actually got for like 49 cents at a Hobby Lobby on sale. And I thought it was perfect for this journal because Alice, of course, plays croquet with a flamingo. So I've just clipped that here to a piece of lace, as you can see. Here's a little teapot charm that I put on a coilless safety pin and did some beadwork. And then here is a little rabbit charm, and he's holding playing cards, which I thought was really cute. Here is another rabbit charm down here where he's blowing the horn for the trial when they're trying to figure out who stole the tarts. And then there's one more that I wanted to show you, and it's probably just gotten a little stuck here because there are so many. But here's a little coilless safety pin that I put together. It's very hard to see, but I have included just some beadwork and then all of the various symbols that are on playing cards, because as you know, decks of cards play a role in our Alice tale. So once all the beads are kind of out of there, sometimes they get caught and you just have to kind of play with them for a minute and get everything, you know, kind of out from between the pages. Once you've done that, the book lays, you know, it pretty flat, especially it ties, it's closed if you use the closure. So it's not too super, you know, alligator mouthy, but my journals, as you guys know, are quite chunky. I do tend to fill them up. So, of course, the recipient could always take out some of these paper clips or coilless safety pins or whatever you'd like to do if it's just too much bulk for you. But this one, I did increase the spine, so it does measure 5 by 9 with a 2.5 inch spine. And I have 1/2 inch sections in between each of the signatures. And it has 4 signatures. There are 15 pages in each signature, so you have over 240 pages to write on. So it really is a big, chunky, fun journal. So let's go ahead and I'll sit down now that I've showed you a close-up of what I wanted you to see up close, and I'll go ahead and sit down now and we will go through the journal. I did another Alice journal a little while back, and it's on my channel, and it sold almost immediately upon me posting it. So I decided to make one more because there seemed to be so much interest in it. The quotes are the same from the previous journal if you want to go back on YouTube and look at that if you miss anything in this journal, but things are laid out differently. There's different charms, different beadwork, different papers, different everything. So it's not, I never make the same journal twice, in other words, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Each journal is unique. And even if the quotes are the same because this comes from a story, right? And the story is not going to change. So the quotes are going to be the same that you see on the pages as we go along. And a lot of the digi images are the same, but I've placed them in different places. I'm still going in order of the story, which is kind of fun to do. But it does look significantly different from the first journal that I did. So you are getting a one-of-a-kind journal. All right, so here's the inside of the front cover. I just used some designer paper that had like a story typed on it in old typing. I don't even know what story it is, but I thought it looked kind of cool. And then I sewed this image on with some of that hemp and then canvas. These beautiful blue floral appliques that you see here are from SM Tiffany Lane, which is one of my favorite Etsy shops for ribbons and laces and things of that nature. I will link to her shop below. I'll also link to the shop where I get all my sari silk, which is Victorian Gypsy Girl on Etsy as well. So those links will be listed for you down below. I've made just a little lace pocket here on the front cover and kept it very simple. Here we move on to the first page. All of the pages that you see in this journal, except for some pages that came from some storybooks, have been tea dyed by me. So what I do is I tea dye them. I soak them in a vat full of tea. I then bake them in the oven, and then I iron them. So they are actually warmed up 3 different times. First through the hot tea, second through the oven, and then third through the ironing process. Then I go ahead and stencil, as you can see on every single page. The stenciling is very, very, very subtle. I use one of these little brushes here that looks like this. I got mine from SM Tiffany Lane. So it's not, you know, in other words, it's not kind of like in your face stenciling. It's very subtle. It might not appear on camera as well as I'd like, but it is there on every single tea-dyed page. If you see index cards or tags, those are also tea-dyed as we go through the journal. This beautiful little lace here that I have along the bottom of the first page is also from SM Tiffany Lane. So here's our first image that I've sewed onto the tea-dyed paper. This is, of course, a Mrs. Cog digital image. It's from the Rackham set of illustrations. And I've just stuck some little things. Everything's a pocket. I love little tuck spots. So here is chapter 1. And I found this, and this is actually handwritten by Lewis Carroll, who wrote Alice in Wonderland. And this is written in his handwriting, and this was a draft that he did. So I found that on the internet and went ahead and printed that out to stick in this little pocket. And then here is one of those book pages from Mrs. Cog's Digi Shop, and it just says chapter 1, Down the Rabbit Hole. And like I said at the beginning, my journal does follow the story. So the quotes and such will follow the order of the events in the actual storybook itself. So here is the back of the first page. I have this little bit of lace here to make a little pocket. And this is just one of the original covers, one of the first covers of the book. So I just printed that out and stuck it here. Here's a doily that's been tea-dyed. Here's some design paper that's been tea-dyed and stenciled. This is one of the images that I found that I have just clipped here, as you can see, with 2 paper clips, and there's some beadwork there at the top of each of those paper clips. Here is one of those book pages I was telling you about. I used 2 different storybooks that I found at a used bookstore that I purchased, and then I had to go buy other copies for myself that I didn't destroy because I'm awful. But anyway, this one is the first page of one of the storybooks, Down the Rabbit Hole, and it's just got beautiful illustrations, lots of text on the back, so that's just attached there. Here is a little bit of lace from SM Tiffany Lane that I turned into a pocket. Here's one of those tea-dyed index cards I was telling you about that has littler images of some of the bigger images that you'll see throughout the album. And I just stuck a little tea-dyed tag in this pocket. You could stick more if you like. I love tuck spots, so you will see pockets within pockets within pockets in my journals. I just love little tuck spots where you could stick little notes or what have you. Here's a large quote directly from the story. I actually went and reread the story myself and took the quotes right out of the book, so I can promise you they are genuine quotes. Here's a little image that I found of the white rabbit, and I stuck a tea-dyed index card in there, which I just folded over, and I just stuck a little tag in. But you can do lots of journaling on these index cards as well. And you could stick something more than just a little tag in there if you wanted. Alrighty, here we go. More quotes. I'm not going to read, I might read 1 or 2 here or there, but I'm really not going to read the quotes because it takes so long. I stuck a little postcard and a little flash card in this pocket. That's really, the pockets, the things that I stick in the pockets are really just to indicate that it is a tuck spot. And so whoever receives this journal can place absolutely whatever they want in the pockets. Okay, here's some ledger paper. And then this is from the second storybook that I used. So this pulls out like so. And this is, of course, Alice is in the rabbit's house now, and she's gotten so big and she's crying. And that chapter is the Pool of Tears. Here's some lace that I used that I tea-dyed and just made a little tuck spot here. And here's another tea-dyed index card. This is the one that has the graph paper look to it, and I just stuck a postcard in here to show that this is a tuck spot. So that goes like that, and then we have beautiful. I was really happy with how my tea-dyed pages came out this time. I'm pretty new to junk journal making, and I felt that this was my best go at tea dyeing. I really loved how dark they came out. Now, whoever purchases this this journal will receive, I always send free clothespins, so that you can just sort of clothespin the pages in place, and then, you know, that'll kind of leave it open for you so you can actually do your journaling. So this is a function, even though it's a chunky one, it's a functioning journal that will allow you to write. So I'll be sending, I usually send about 4 clothespins along with the journal, complimentary, just to help you hold the pages open so you can actually do your journaling in the book. Okay, I'll try to move quicker now because this video is going to be super long. Okay, just a little bit of lace here that I turn into a little tuck spot. That's from SN Tiffany Lane. On some of the pages, you'll see something that looks kind of weird. I'm going to pull this up to the camera really quick so you can really see it. It is a page from the one of the chapters of the book that was written in shorthand. So I just thought it was kind of neat. So I just did a couple different pages that I just put directly onto the paper before I tea dyed it. So I just thought that was just kind of neat. You can, of course, just, you know, journal up here or cover it up with something if you want. But I really thought it was kind of cool. All right, now we're at the center of the first signature. And here are the little tassels. And I just added the same, I just cut little tags out of the same book design paper that we saw on the back of the front cover. And so this is kind of a busy spread here, but it's really fun. We've got the drink me and the eat me. We've got some book pages. These are all tuck spots. There's a little postcard in this tuck spot, and then we have little flashcards that say drink me, eat me, and I have placed little tags in those little tuck spots there. And then over here we have she's swimming with the little mouse. We have some more beautiful images from different illustrators. All of the images, by the way, are copyright free. They are out of copyright range now, so they're all able to be used for commercial purposes. And then here's 2 more book pages, and as you can see, I have clipped them here with some paper clips, and I've done the bead work that I kind of showed you at the beginning on both of these, if you can see that there. Okay, so whoops, this goes under here. So as you can see, I mentioned at the very beginning, I like to print a lot more than I actually sew into the book. And the reason that I like to do that is because I do, especially when it comes to journals that are book themed, is I really like to compare illustrators. I like to take all of the stuff that's within the public domain now and able to be used and get it in the journal if I can. And the best way I have found to do that is to go ahead and just simply sew some of them in and then clip the others. That way you're not eliminating any journal space. The recipient can, you know, take them out if they want to, or, you know, do their journaling and then clip them back on to kind of hide some of the journaling, whatever you want to do. So that's why there's a lot of images in the book. So they are for you to do what you wish. So here's just another little book page here from Mrs. Cog's Digital Images, a couple more book pages. And then over here, we have another book page with a paper clip at the top that has some cute little bead work. Here's that little heart blue charm that I showed you earlier. Here's an image from Mrs. Cog's shop that I did sew onto the tea dye page. And then I just stuck another beautiful image from Mrs. Cog's shop and a flashcard. All of the flashcards, by the way, are part of the various digital sets that came from Mrs. Cog's shop. So I didn't have to prepare any of my own flashcards for this journal, which was awesome. Saves some time. Another little tuck spot here. And I'm going to speed up just a little bit more now because I know this is a super long video. Here's another book page where she's swimming with the mouse. So this is from that particular illustrator's book that I purchased. More ledger paper, cute little image that I've paper clipped with beadwork. More lace tabs here. Of course, long quote from the book. They're really funny. The quotes that I picked are awesome, but like I said, I'm not going to take the time to read them because this video would be like 2 hours long probably, but they're really fun. I did go ahead and sew some flashcards on and just stuck some tea-dyed tags in there. Here we just have another image from Mrs. Cog's shop, and I stuck a postcard and a flashcard in there. This is the White Rabbit. This is some lace work that I did turn into a pocket. Stuck a tea-dyed index card in there that also has a tuck spot. And you can fit a lot more than just the one card in that pocket if you wish. Here is another book page from a different illustrator. So like I said, I used 2 different books with 2 different illustrators. Another paper clipped image with some really pretty bead work. I've noticed that it is easiest to find blue beads in the store, so I did go a little crazy with beads in this book. Not all of the backs of the paper clips have things clipped to them. That is on purpose, so you can clip whatever you want in there if you wish. Here's some more designer paper, doily, little pocket. And here we are at the end of the first signature, and we have this sewed into the paper. It's the White Rabbit with this pocket watch, and this is a very large tuck spot. You could actually fit, you know, a couple index cards folded over in there if you liked. It's a very generous pocket. Here we are for the second signature now. Little tuck spot here. And again, it is going, the quotes are going in order of the story. I know I'm not reading them, but here's some of those book pages from Mrs. Cogg's shop, some designer paper here. Just, these want to slip here. Let me fix these real quick. These are just a cute image, and I thought it's so interesting to compare the different illustrators. This particular illustrator, whose work is also in the public domain, and I found this one myself, has Alice as a redhead, which I had never seen before. You know, I've always seen her blonde, so I thought that was interesting. So I stuck that image there. And then this image I just clipped to the back. A couple more images here. These are tuck spots, and as you can see, I folded over some tea-dyed index cards and just stuck some little tags in. These are all tuck spots. Like I said, you get pockets within pockets in my journals. I just love little tuck spots. Same here. So this is folded, again, tea-dyed, and the little tags are tea-dyed as well. And they just stick right down in there. Another book page from this particular illustrator, which I thought is really cute. Here's just an index card that I have gone ahead and just paper clipped to the page itself. And it has a little pocket with the image. Here's that cute little bunny charm where he's holding his pocket watch. And then this is the back, which is just a cute little image there of how she's so small and the dog is now so huge. Some ledger paper. Here's some beautiful lace that I just turned into a pocket, and I only used it on one page. It's beautiful, and I have limited supply. It's from SM Tiffany Lane. It's so gorgeous. So I just stuck another one of those pages that I found with Lewis Carroll's own handwriting when he was doing his drafts of the book, and then another image from Mrs. Cogg's shop that's an Arthur Rackham design, or illustration rather. And then I did clip, or rather sewed this image into the journal and have a couple book pages as tuck spots in there. And then turn the page, and then I've clipped a larger image to what was on this small little card here. So this is a smaller image of that, which is Alice in the house with her hands coming out the windows and everybody scurrying around wondering what the heck to do about it because she's gotten so huge. Here's another little image that I found that I paper clipped with some beautiful bead work. I have an index card on the back with just a tag and some flashcards, eat me, drink me flashcards there. Here's a coilless safety pin that I have done some beadwork, and here's that Alice charm that I showed you when we were closer up to the camera. Here she is with the Duchess, and this is the Pig and Pepper chapter, which is hysterical. And so I just stuck some other images and book pages in this pocket. So as you can see, these pockets are all that when I've sewed images in and made them pockets on the pages, they're quite generous pockets. So you can fit really a lot inside of here. Another image down here with some beadwork on the paper clips, and here's what I just stuck on the back. Here is another book page. This is where she meets the caterpillar. Here she is carrying the baby pig. Another image inside of that one. Here's just some ribbon that I turned into a little pocket and added a little tea-dyed index card, and I neglected to stick something in here to show that this is a tuck spot. So I'll just stick a little postcard in there so you can know that there is a tuck spot there. This is the center of the second signature. So we have our two little tassels here. We have some awesome quotes from the book itself, and then we have some flashcards that I just stuck some little tags in sideways because they're very narrow. So here's her advice from a caterpillar, and we're on that chapter now. So here's where she meets the caterpillar, some book pages, more book pages over here. Here is another actual page from an actual storybook that is illustrated. Just thought really cute. Here's more Pig and Pepper with the Duchess, and the house is a mess, and the dishes are flying everywhere, and Alice is like, what the heck is going on in this house? A little book page, and then here is a little flash index card rather that I've tea dyed and gone ahead and sewed this image on. And I also neglected to stick something in here to indicate that this is a tuck spot, so I'm just going to stick a little postcard in there, and that goes right inside this pocket here. So as you can see, you can really fit quite a bit. Plus, there are so many pages that are free and clear for journaling. And like I said, just because there's images clipped on, that doesn't impede your journaling at all. You can take the clips off, you can take them off forever and just leave the pages journaled, or you can put them back on after you've journaled, whatever you would like to do. Here's another book page, which is really cute. It's when she's still really big and she's reaching her hand down and trying to figure out, how do I get out of this house? I'm huge. And this house was made for a tiny little rabbit. So finally she gets to the beautiful garden. There's the little tuck spot there. This is her inside the house still, where she of course is so big. And here's another little tea-dyed index card that again is a tuck spot. I'm glad I printed extra postcards as I'm doing this walkthrough. I seem to have forgotten to put a lot of little tuck things in the pockets on the index cards themselves. Just more stenciling, some lace work at the top, another little pocket with just some images. There's an image I found of the caterpillar, another book page with Lewis Carroll's handwriting as he was doing a draft of the story. And here we are at the end of the second signature. I have some flower lace at the top, and then this is the tuck spot. Of course, the quote says curiouser and curiouser. Here we are at the third signature now, and this is where she meets the Cheshire Cat and also plays the croquet with the Queen. So you'll be seeing images about those subjects. So here she is meeting the Cheshire Cat. Let me back up. This is a tuck spot, so I've tucked an image and a book page here. On the back is a large book page. Here's a doily that's been tea dyed, more design paper that's been tea dyed. Here's a beautiful book page from this particular illustrator where she's speaking with the Cheshire Cat. On the back is the little pig from the Pig and Pepper chapter wandering off. Here's an index card I just clipped with some beautiful beadwork, and it is a little tuck spot, so I stuck a little tag in there. And then on the back is just that other illustrator I was telling you about who made Alice a redhead. So I just stuck that image of the tea party on the back. Again, just with paper clips, so it is removable. You can journal on this page completely. Here is a very long quote that just had to be included, all about, it has the "why is a raven like a writing desk" within this quote, which I'm sure you've heard that before. Super fun, had to include it. More ledger paper. Here is a tab, and I did a little beadwork, and here's a teapot charm. Again, I showed you that when we were kind of up close. There's some washi tape you've probably noticed throughout, so just kind of stuck them here and there. Here's another little tuck spot, a tea-dyed index card, tea-dyed little tag. The index card is folded, so it opens up, so you have lots of room, and you can fit more than just that in that pocket. Here's another one that I've done. Same idea, just folded it. Lots of room for journaling, and it just fits right on top of this pocket. Again, most of these images, including these two right here, are from Mrs. Cog's shop. Again, I'll link those below. Here's another image, another book page rather, from a storybook that I purchased. And this is the Queen's Croquet Grounds, and here's where they're painting the roses red because they were accidentally white. Here's that cute flamingo charm. Little dormouse, which is the tuck spot. Here's a little digi image that I just found online in the area where copyright-free materials are available, and just stuck it on the page before I tea dyed it. Here's an image of her with the flamingo and the Duchess. Here's the little book page, quotes galore. Another little image, again, they're painting the roses white. I found this beautiful ribbon at Hobby Lobby, and it was red roses. I thought it was perfect for the journal. So I have this clipped here. This is a Arthur Rackham, I believe, image of the little card guys painting the roses. But it's just clipped, and then in this little pocket that I made with this ribbon, I have another tea-dyed postcard tea-dyed index card that has an image of the little tea party, a smaller image, and it's a tuck spot as well. So that goes like that. And then on the back, we have Alice trying to maneuver that that flamingo to use as a croquet mallet. Another one of those shorthand, written in shorthand book pages there that, again, I just put it directly on the paper before tea dyeing it. Here's the center of the third signature. Here's the fun little tassels. And then both of these are fairly large images, so they can fit large little index cards that have been tea dyed, and I've stuck little tags in there to show that there are tuck spots. So that one goes right in that pocket, and then this one goes right in this pocket. This one actually didn't even need to be folded because this image was so large. This is an image that I found on online. Again, it's outside of copyright range, so it's okay to use it, and I just loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. So I just decided to make it in the centerfold. Again, here she is with the flamingo. Here's a little digital image that I placed on the paper before tea dyeing it. More of that beautiful rose ribbon that is, a tuck spot made into a pocket with a book page from Mrs. Cog's shop. Here's a little flash card that I did some beadwork on the paper clip for that. And then here's another image from Mrs. Cog's shop with other images from Mrs. Cog's shop inside of it. So just a book page, another illustration, and then the Queen of Hearts flash card go right in there. So it's kind of a nice little tuck spot there. And then on the back, we have this fun little image that I found that shows the actual croquet match. And you see the cards. It's kind of hard to see from far away, but it's sort of an intricate little image. But the cards are, bent over so that the croquet, balls can go under them and that kind of thing. It's kind of fun. Here's the Alice walking with the Duchess. And then here's another tea-dyed postcard with a little tag in it that goes inside this pocket. Here's where that little coilless safety pin I showed you when we were up close with all the different emblems of playing cards on it. So I thought that was a fun touch. Added some washi tape, another teacup that I digital image, another image of the tea party, and inside I put a little image of the dormouse. Here's another book page where she's talking to the mock turtle, Cheshire cat. Again, with some just little tuck spot there. Here she's running with the griffin, and there's a bunch of book pages in here that kind of tell that story. There's like a poem and some fun little quotes and stuff on those book pages. So I just stuck them all in this generous pocket here, along with a little flash card there. So here she is with the griffin and the mock turtle. And that's from Mrs. Cog's shop. I just clipped it in with some beautiful beadwork. Here's that red heart on a bulb pin. And then on the back there is the griffin. Some are ledger paper, another cute little dormouse, and here's some just things tucked in there. Here's another image of her with the griffin from a different illustrator, and another illustrator on the back with some beautiful beadwork there. Here is a fun little book page from one of the storybooks that I use that has a really cute illustration, I thought, on the back of the Mad Tea Party. Here is some design paper that has been tea dyed, a doily that has been tea dyed, and here's the last page of the third signature with this little pocket, and I just stuck an image. And you can journal on the back of any of these images that are not sewn down. And then this is the last page with a really fun quote about the Cheshire Cat on the back. It's really cool. And this is a little tuck spot here as well. This right here is a beautiful portrait done by, I believe the name is George Dunlop, and it is of a woman reading the book Alice in Wonderland to her daughter. And then I have the original first cover of the book on as a digital image below on the paper that I placed on the paper before tea dyeing it. And this is a tuck spot, again, a folded postcard with an image and a little tea dyed tag inside of it. We have some more designer paper. Here's a fun little image. So now we're at who stole the tarts. The tarts are now missing after the croquet game, and somebody accuses Alice. So this is sort of the jury, and Alice is trying to defend herself, saying that she did not take the tarts. Another little book page here. Here's some beautiful red ribbon that sort of the last half of the book you'll see a lot more red because we're dealing with the Queen of Hearts and that sort of thing. So I just made this a little pocket. And then here's another little image that has a tuck spot in it. Same here, same here. Okay, this is a little charm here of the rabbit with a 4 different playing cards. Here she is as the jury is getting all flustered and falling, and it's kind of a funny part of the story. Here's a tea-dyed index card that does have a tuck spot in it that I've just clipped with some beautiful beadwork at the top there. Here is a book page from the other book that you've seen throughout this journal. And this is the jury. So she's kind of picking up the little lizard, who is Bill, who the rabbit called in when Alice was at his house and was so big to try to get him to help. So he's on the jury as well as other critters. So just a couple pages have just some pretty lace work. Here's some lace, again, from SM Tiffany Lane that I turned into a little pocket. Here's where the Queen says, "Off with her head," and Alice boldly replies, "Nonsense," which I think is pretty cool. She stood up for herself and kind of a good role model for young girls. So I thought that was pretty neat. Here's the center of the 4th signature. So we've got the little book pages and the little tabs. Here's where the king is saying, "I don't want this Cheshire cat here, let's get rid of it." And of course the Queen's solution is "Off with his head." And that has a little tuck spot in it with a image and another little tuck spot within the postcard. Index card as well. Another little lace pocket there. Here's the rabbit blowing the horn for the jury trial that's about to happen. Here is Alice standing up for herself and then getting attacked. She basically is saying, "Wait a minute, you guys are just playing cards, you can't hurt me." And the cards kind of go all around her, and then she wakes up from her dream. So here's some beautiful beadwork that I did for this particular paper clip image. Again, there's nothing on this side. You could clip whatever you like. Here's an illustration from the storybook of that scene. Here's another illustrator depicting that scene. This is from Mrs. Cogshop. This is an Arthur Rackham image. And I stuck another tea-dyed index card in there that also has a tea-dyed tag in it because it has a pocket. Here's the king and queen holding court. And here's the white rabbit kind of trying to read the jury's verdict. This is a little flashcard. This says the King's Court, and I just stuck a little tea-dyed tag there sideways. That was the rabbit calling the court to session. And again, here's just a smaller image. Actually, it's a larger image that I folded. And it's a sort of more subdued, not completely colorized image of the king and queen holding court. Again, that was an Arthur Rackham image available in Mrs. Cogg's shop. Made this little ribbon pocket. And then here's the colored image, which is my favorite. So I paper clipped it in with some beadwork. Here's a book page from one of the 2 storybooks that I used. Again, here's another illustrator's interpretation of that moment where the cards are trying to attack her. But again, they're just playing cards, so they can't hurt her. And here's another. This is the same illustration we saw before, but it's actually on a book page. And then another book page inside of that tuck spot. Some design paper. This is the back of the last page. And again, I used that beautiful rose ribbon that I just used it and turned it into a pocket. Just used some Fabri-Tac to glue 3 sides of it. And then I stuck these 2 images, which of course you can journal on the back if you wish. And you can add more as well to this pocket if you like. And then here is the very last page of the journal, and it's long. It's a very long quote, but it's an awesome quote, and it's the very end of the book, and it's about Alice waking up and then her sister. You realize that her sister had pretty much the same adventures in this meadow when she was a child. So the sister kind of talks about that, and it's just a lovely, lovely quote. So I included that whole couple paragraphs on the back, which I thought was really, really nice. Then here's the inside of the back cover, which has that one of the Tea Party images, some more of that beautiful blue flower applique from SM Tiffany Lane. Here's a little, I don't know what you call it. It's kind of like a little bar with words on it, I guess. I got it from the jewelry department at Hobby Lobby, and it says, "You would have to be mad to make me up, to dream me up," rather. So I just adhered it with 2 brads to the hemp and then to the canvas, and then the same little lace pocket that we saw on the front that you can certainly stick more than just a postcard in if you like. So that is my Alice journal. Again, I could not have made this journal without Mrs. Cogg's class. I promise you, if you take the class and follow the step-by-step directions, you will not get lost. Her directions are so perfect that I never got lost once. If you did get lost, she's she certainly is available to answer any questions through the course. If you had a question for her. But the course is so well done. I just can't say enough good things about it. Remember, I have that discount code for 30% off. That'll be in the description box of this video description below. And I really hope that you enjoyed this fun Alice junk journal. Yeah, a lot of work went into this one. I hope you love it. I had so much fun making it. And next I'm going to be starting on some Halloween journals. So if that's something you might be interested in, I will have my email below. I can always do reserve orders on Etsy for you instead of you having to wait if it's a theme that you know you're going to want to buy a junk journal about. So my next 2 journals will be Halloween themed journals, and then I'll have some fall journals after that. So if you're interested in any of those themes, shoot me an email. It'll be in the description box below. Here's our beautiful tassel again, which I will just stick right next to the book, and that'll do it for us. Thank you guys so much for hanging in there with me. I know this was a super long video, but I really wanted to showcase all of the different elements that make this book what it is. It is a very usable journal, but also has a lot of fun elements to it that I think you will enjoy. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Mrs. Cogg, for your amazing digital images and for your amazing course. And I will catch you guys on the next video. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.